For like folks, live in the lounge 47 in a snowy and wintry Howacramar. But nae as snowy and wintry as some places. Some places have got considerably more. Further west you go, definitely looking much wilder. It's wild enough here, but we're nae as bad as I might have thought. But you go about a mile in every direction and you find there's a lot of snow. So anyway, sit by the fire, pour yourself a nice big dram, and welcome to the live in the Lounge 47 for the Howacramar. So, aye, just the normal here, Shona. She just checked that we're streaming live to the universe.
I'm hoping that the weather's not going to cause any problems with the internet connection tonight. Hopefully, that'll be alright.
It'll be fine.
Just the usual
Shenanigans.
Today is National Say a Gaelic Phrase Day, if you would like to join in with that. I have been consulting the oracle that is Margaret Stewart, and she's taught me how to say something in Gaelic. So I might sing it actually. You want to play it?
Okay, 3, 4.
Do you have a boxer? 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 Do you have a boxer?
Fits in the box. That
Do you
doesn't work quite as well.
hound the boxer? Do you hound the boxer? Hound the boxer?
Fits in the box.
I think that's how you say it. Do you hound the boxer? She was giving me a lesson earlier.
Aye.
So there you go. What's in the box?
Ooh.
Oh, Gordon Calder's asking if we can see Socks. I don't know where Socks is at the moment. Socks is outside.
Catching a moose, somewhere
Yeah.
I suspect.
She was meowing at the door to get out. For those that you don't know, we have been adopted quite a few years ago. We had a cat turn up in the farm, and she slept out in the sheds.
Well, she still does.
She still does.
But she got in a couple of nights ago.
Yeah.
We let her bide in. It was pretty miserable and felt sorry for her. So, but she actually last night she went out and she's too used to her freedom. She likes to ken she can get out, but I have to say a cosy fire, a warm radiator and a cushion seems to be a little bit attractive to her. So anyway, there you go. But that's Socks the cat. She's got white feet.
So if she does come in at some point, I'll take her through and let you see her. So yeah.
So my other thingamajig, fits a beer. So there you go. Take a look at that. See if you think it's Scottish now. Some of our regulars, Harry Lash, he's get in touch with the Netherlands, and he sometimes punts in someone that's definitely not Scottish, but it is a Scottish beer, a Scottish ale. I've got the bottle here just out of your sight, and yeah, it's a pale ale. This If I tell you the strength, it might help. 5%. So there you go. Do your worst, folks. And I think we're up and running.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move over a bit a bit, and I'm going to play a set of tunes, as you would expect, 4 jigs. Never before played in public. So these are all my own tunes. I'm not saying they're new, but certainly, let me look at that. Within the last 2 years, 3 of them were written almost exactly 2 years ago, and 1 was written last year. And I've been working on music to do with the island of Iona, which will be announcing some stuff fairly soon about the project. But I've been working on this for a few years, and so these are our tunes to do with the island of Iona. And the first thing is called Dalriada, which is the old name of the Scots kingdom, which is basically what is now Argyll. Argyll means the coastline of the Gale, and I've seen it written various different ways, like they were Irish pirates, but I'm not sure it was quite as buccaneering sounding as that. But certainly they came from the North Island. I've also seen stuff said that they might have come from Scotland first and gone back. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But there was a kingdom down in this southwest of Scotland, Argyll, and it was called Dalriada. And if you go to Donald, which is there's a hill fort, you'll see carved into the rock at the top there is a footprint, and that was for when they crowned their king, you put your foot in it, and that was part of the crowning ceremony. So Dalriada, the old Scottish kingdom, before it was unified with the Picts to mark Scotland. After that, it's called Columcille of the O'Neill. Columcille is better known as Columba, Saint Columba, but his original Irish name was in Gaelic was Columcilleach. He came from, well, he was born in Donegal. When he came across to Iona, he left for Derry or Londonderry, depends what kind of flag you wave. Followed by that is Port Nacurra, and Port Nacurra is it's basically the wee bay and the beach for St Columba first set foot on Iona, and it's beautiful down there. I mean, you can forget time when you're there, and even fit period you're living in, because it's so out of sight of any other human buildings or anything like that. So Port Nacurra, and then passing the Torren Rocks to finish, because you can't really see them for Port Nacurra, but Eried is a tidal island. Sometimes you can walk across or wade across, other times no. If the tide goes out, you can nip over. Famous in the book Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson, David Balfour gets shipwrecked off the Torren Rocks, notorious rocks that have been the graveyard of many a ship. So passing the Torren Rocks, which is something that Columba would have had to do when he was coming up to Iona originally. Shona?
Good.
Now you want to come back in?
Yeah, I've got quite a lot of notices. Parish notices.
It's a beer.
Oh, if it's a beer. Andrew Brandy thinks McEwen's Pale Ale. Alison McDonald thinks, she said this is a proper Scottish beer. Tactical Nuclear Penguin. So Paul Gray's away to Google it.
That sounds like it might be a
Brewdog or something.
Brewdog sort of thing.
Sandy White thinks East Coast Crush. Sandy Thompson thinks Duker's IPA, and Sharon Hassan thinks Innocent Gun IPA.
Okay.
Jay Hans Voxa. What's in the box? For Gaelic Say a Phrase Day. What's in the box? What's in the box? Jamie Bowers thinks a piece of jewellery, a watch or a medal. Katinka Baxton thinks a ring. Daria Muir thinks a wheat and a WD-40. Karen Fraser thinks a Celtic cross. Heather Morrison thinks a badge for the Highland Games. And Fiona Forbes, she's very pernickety with this. A thing me a rosin. That's the technical term, a thing me. Is it a cake a rosin?
Aye, a block of rosin. But I would say I would never treat the rosin like that because it breaks and it chips and it's
a thing me.
It's a valuable part of your kit, so I would never treat it with such wild abandon. Again, I would never do that to my rosin.
No.
It'd be in the
it would be in bits.
Dust, pretty much.
Okay, so I've got quite a lot of hellos. Karen Fraser, Alexander Thompson, Leah Roswell up in Bucky, Gordon Calder and Bonnie Whitney, Shirley and John our in Skene, Doreen Wood and Melvin and Callum down in Glasgow, Sandy White and Mintlaw, Tommy, Uncle Tommy and Sonia our in Huntly, Margaret and Murdo up in Lewis, Sandy Thompson's in Dingwall watching, Andrew Brandy, Faye Lawrence Kirk, Daria and Gordon just the other side of the village, Lorelei Bach in Pennsylvania, Margaret Kerr in Australia.
Got a new blanket. Yeah.
Lorelei with her new blanket, she was in the D-Side Piper, other wife of Pennsylvania. Cole Finlay is watching, Ula in Stockholm, Harry Lash, John Mitchell, Grace and Matt, my mum and dad, Isabel Smith over in New York, Katinka Baxton in the Netherlands, Joe and Pat in Kirriemuir. They say it's nae sny in Kirriemuir, it's just off a wheat.
Okay.
Ted in Morpeth is watching. Hello Ted. Jamie Bowers, Anne and Paul over at Hill and Lumfannon. Sharon Hassan's joining us. Kristen Lakin from Washington State. Alan and Rona for Afford. Not quite as exciting as Washington State, but somebody's divided in Afford.
Tell you something, Afford's exciting.
Afford's far it is.
I bet there's been some wild nights in Afford.
Aye, absolutely. Alison McDonald from the San Francisco Bay Area. Your mum and dad for just up a hill. Sally Day Butler's watching us. Shona Robertson and all the gang down at the Aberdeen Arms. Elaine and George Mitchell's joining us. Liz and Roger Court in Lincolnshire. Catherine McLaughlin. She said, I hope I'm feeling better because I had a horrible migraine last week. Absolutely fine. Nothing coming over me. Frank and Lorraine Ribbons out in Abine. Dougie Hay, the Oraloon for Fight Hills is joining us.
Was that your opinion? Is that himself? It calls himself
Aye. The Oraloon, he says he's logging in.
Okay.
Heather Morrison in a stormy Strachan. Margot and Edward Stewart up in Tamantool. Now that will be stormy up there the night.
Oh, aye, they'll be there for months, I would say.
Aye, I hope you've got plenty of coal for the fire and plenty of whiskey and food. Ian Murray and Ballater, Isabel Lang and our guy, and Tracy and Hugh Adelphi.
I was out this afternoon. It was a little bit kind of disagreeable with the weather, but it was funny. It was two of the local boys. Both stopped to speak. There was Milne just across the Tarland Burn.
They'll be watching as well.
They stopped just for a bit of a news, and next thing Gordon Coots comes down at him, and I thought you better away and you'll be holding him up. But he stopped for a news as well. But we were just speaking about he and plenty of supplies, and he said, I was like a boy. He said he met his pal. He says, I was out getting supplies, 3 bottles of whiskey and a loaf of bread. He said, what you get to do all the bread for? Well, it made me laugh anyway, so there you go. The other thing I was going to say, Afford, if you'd like excitement and you want to hear go, just come along and join the fun at the Afford Cattle Show. See, I bet you Washington State doesn't have a tune as catchy as that.
Washington State doesn't have both their ballads.
They don't have both their well, they'll probably get something comparative, but if there's anything that can compete with that in Washington State, let us ken. Right, less of the joviality.
Joviality is the word.
Less of the humour and nonsense. I kind of got myself into a corner there, haven't I? Quite joviality. That's right, joviality. Less joviality. And I'm going to play a paper. No, I think that's a right word. I've now convinced myself it's possibly nay, but I think it's right joviality, less nonsense. We to play a P-Broch now. But it's just the ground because that's all I've written. This is, I'm going to continue in the Iona vein. This is a tune called The Tomb of the Kings. And this refers to the, it's a big long mound in the cemetery, just across for the Abbey in Iona. And tradition maintains that 48 High Kings of Scotland are buried there. And the Kings of Dalriada would have been buried there as well. There's Lords of the Isles. Angus Og commanded one of the wings at the Battle of Bannockburn. Great supporter of Robert the Bruce.
Joviality. Shenanigans, Paul Grazer, sorry.
Okay. I've lost my place
Sorry.
now.
Tomb of the Kings.
Aye, it's also known as the Ridge of the Kings. But there's also Irish chieftains and kings buried there, and I think there's 3 Norwegian kings for by. So it's a really significant place. So the first High King of Scotland, Kenneth MacAlpin, is buried there. The last 2 were Macbeth and his stepson Lulich, who was king for a year after Macbeth was killed in Battle over a hill at Lumfannin. Lulich was High King for a year, and then he was killed up near Riney, actually, just round the back of Tappa North. He was killed in a battle up there, and Kenneth MacAlpin had Macbeth's body disinterred because it was just buried beside a cairn up there at Lumfannin, and reunited with his head because he cut his head off, gave it a wash in the well, and took it to Kenneth MacAlpin. So they disinterred the body, and Macbeth and Lulich were the 2 last High Kings of Scotland to be buried at the Tomb of the Kings. So I'm going to play this. There's no the big long variations of this, so it's just the ground.
Margaret Persh's beautiful Pibroch.
Thank you.
And Andrew Brandy says lovely playing.
It's maybe for your car Pibroch here, which I heard that for Jack Taylor, because it's just like, if it would be the ground or the urler, the main theme which you build the variations on, it doesn't have the variations, so it just seems like a Pibroch. Anyway, there you go.
I've got quite a few guesses for what's in the box.
Right, well, I can't think we need now.
What's in the box? 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 What's in the box?
What's in the box? How do you say it again?
J Hounds of Voxa.
J Hans of Oxa.
Hounds of Voxa.
Hounds of Oxa.
You'll need lessons.
Margaret, I'm off, sorry. Butchering your beautiful language.
Okay, so Karen Fraser thinks a wee stone painted with a cross from Iona. Paul Gray thinks the key for the Aberdeenshire Council gritters, and that's why there's nice money on the road. Alison McDonald thinks a candle
I've locked
holder.
him in or something.
Alison McDonald thinks a candle holder. Andrew Brandy thinks a fiddle and medal. Joe Aitken thinks coal for the Snawmanny's in loons are going to big morn. And Liz Court thinks a carrot for the Snawmanny's nose. John Folks thinks the dried pea for a Pibroch. That's quite good.
That's very well. I'd never heard that before.
Lorelei thinks a seashell from Iona. Katinka Baxton thinks a walnut. Tracy Adelsey thinks either a seed tatty or a snowball. Well, if it's a snowball, it's got some chuckies in it because it wouldn't stand like
what I'm living out there, so it
and a few hellos. Andrea McGlynn in Virginia's watching. Sue Taylor up in a snowy cold Orkney. Vida Bafford is watching, and Bruno Gougier from Dijon.
Well.
Oh, Margaret says you're both doing grand with the Gaelic.
Oh, you're very generous. I can imagine you'll be sitting muttering at me. Oh, God almighty, listen to it.
You got another one too?
I just set of reels. I'm just going to play them once through. What time is it anyway?
25 past.
25 past. For a bit of dance, I'm going to play a set of reels now. And again, these were there are Iona tunes that I was inspired right when I was there, and I was intending actually hearing a dance choreographed, but that's not going to work because we're not allowed to hold hands or look about together unless you're married. You can look how you like, I suppose. Shona, sorry, you were sticking your hand up.
Fiona Forbes says what a wonderful accompaniment to Air versus Hearts tonight.
Oh, the music.
Yeah, she's sitting watching it back.
Well, I hope it's good anyway. I hope it's better than the last football match I went. It was Huntly versus Cove Rangers. It was like Tarland FC on a bad day. Like, it wasn't any better. They were fitter. That's the only thing I would say. But anyway, that's a few years ago. They improved immeasurably. Anyway, so I would have liked to have got these turned into an actual proper choreographed dance. So the set's called Iona Dance, and the first thing's called Iona Dance. And then the second thing's called the Jolly Post Mistress, and I think that this has been mentioned before. Francie Devine, if you're watching, you'll ken exactly fit. I'm speaking about here, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying anything there about her, but well.
She maybe wasn't that jolly, was she?
Well, that would be about right, aye. The third tune's called Dunee, and that is the highest point in the island of Iona, which is not a big island as islands go in the Hebrides, but it's the highest point, and you're afforded fantastic views across to the to Mull and some of the surrounding islands round about there. And then the last thing is called the Spouting Cave, and that's it's a rock feature down on the Atlantic coast. There's the Macher, and you go further south down. And I didn't actually go right to it because you have to scramble over the rocks to get up to it, and I didn't fancy the look of it. So, but you could see it, and it's a coastal feature for the water comes rushing into the cave with the waves, and it goes spouting out. It's like a party pop where you pull like that, and it,
like a geezer.
Like a geezer, aye. So I thought that was worthy of a tune as well. So I'll rattle through these once each, but one of these days we'll get it turned into a set dance, the Iona Dance. Right, folks, on that note, I think I'll lug out the road and we'll let Shona Donaldson and the glamorous one here.
I think you're very glamorous, Paul.
Well, I can, but...
Men can be glamorous as well, why not?
Oh, I like Liberace.
Well, maybe not quite like
Or Elton
Liberace.
John.
No, maybe not. A couple of hellos. Hello to Brandon Ward watching and Fiona and David Gardner up in Tain. A few more guesses for the box. Hugh Adelsey thinks a Daffy Bulb. Donald Gibson thinks Special Pebbles from Iona. Oh, and hello to Bonnie in Milwaukee joining us as well. Right, I'm going to do... am I okay to shift this box? Oops. Sorry. No.
You can take a sheet
okay,
spoon,
there we go.
I take and do because I don't.
You don't need them. Okay, sorry, I'm just hearing a bit of rearranging here. Isabel Lane thinks a party popper in the can you sorry, can you pass my fiddle over? I'm not quite settled tonight, I don't know if it is. So you might know if you're not from the northeast or from Scotland that we've got a bit of snow round the door. It's actually not as much as I thought we were going to hate. It's kind of gone a bit wheat and slushy and it's not really lying as well. But if you just go a bit further up the Dee up Ballot or Bramar, there's a heast to it there. I think they're probably struggling a wee bit with it. So I thought I would do a song that mentions snow and ice and just general coolness. And it's a whaling song called The Greenland Whale Fisheries. I hadn't sung this for years. It was, I think I used to sing it when I was maybe about 15, and I only sung it because I got to swear in it. So it's got a swear word. I'm off, sorry if anybody's offended by that. It's nae nothing mega roch like. So we'll give it a bash. So this is the Greenland Whale Fisheries. In 1853, on March the 13th day, our gallant ship at anchor weighed, and for Greenland sailed away, brave boys, for Greenland sailed away. The lookout on the cross tree stood with a spyglass in his hand. There's a whale, there's a whale, there's a bloody great big whale, and she blows on every span, brave boys, she blows on every span. Her captain stood on the quarter deck, and a sure little money was he. Overhaul, let your davit tackles fall, and put your boats to sea, brave boys, and put your boats to sea. Our boats were launched and the crew aboard, and the whale was in full view. Row, boys, row, all away and go, and steer where the whalefish blew, brave boys, and steer where the whalefish blew. The whale was struck and the line paid out, and she made a flourish with her tail. Her boat capsized and 4 men were drowned, and we never caught that whale, brave boys, we never caught that whale. The losing of those 4 brave men, it grieves my heart full sore, but the losing of that bloody great big whale, well, it grieves me 10 times more, brave boys, it grieves me 10 times more. Greenland is a hell of a place, it's a place that's never green, where there's ice and there's snow and the whale fishes below, and the daylight is seldom seen, brave boys, the daylight seldom seen. The Greenland whale fisheries. I had something caught in my throat. That was horrible.
You okay?
No, it's alright. It's quite difficult to sing when you've got something Stuck in your throat.
You want some water?
I wouldn't mind the water actually. Have you got any notifications you want to do while
I
I'm
do.
having this?
One or two things. Janice Holler says hello from Ontario, Canada. I actually helped her sell a book of her dad's music. It was the Scott Skinner's Logie collection. Best copy I've ever seen for being in
Oh, it
good
had the
condition.
name Crawford on it. That one.
Her dad was a dance band leader, and
Cool.
so there was I put her in touch with a few folk that were interested. I'm not actually sure if I ended up with, but
Somebody's got it.
it's an heirloom. The book's just beautiful. Well, anyway, that was Janice. So hello, Janice.
Hello.
If I else forgot here, Nicola Mitchell thinks it's Jacobite Ale. Katinka Baxton thinks it's nail polish in the box. John Fuchs thinks it's 6 degrees north, the beer. And Ted Cremar thinks it's Yarrell. And Margaret McKenna says it's drifting at Drum,
At
Glenkindie.
Glenkindie, I saw that, yeah.
So there you go.
You might notice, see my lipstick tonight? It's not actually lipstick. I bought it, I think I bought it off of eBay, and I wanted a new lip balm. And it's a lip balm that you put on, and it changes colour with the heat of your lips. So, however warm your lips are, it goes to a different colour. It's quite cool, isn't it?
Paul Gray says you should film that in black and white and thump your fist and you'll get a #1.
Well, funny you should say that, Paul Gray, because the next song I'm going to sing is The Weller Man. You might not have seen this next sea shanty go a little bit viral. It was a postie for Airdrie called Nathan Evans that sang it on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, I'm not doing with the kids, I don't fit TikTok is. But anyway, he sang it and then folk put in harmonies and all sorts of stuff. And I think it's #1 just now, is it? A sea shanty. So, and Nathan Evans, he was a postie in Airdrie and he's got a record deal and he's quit his job for singing a sea shanty.
Janice Holler has just said that the book was posted to Gavin Marwick.
Oh, cool, Gavin's got it.
So it's coming back to Scotland, which is that's nice to care. That's good.
Cool.
Well done.
So the Weller Man, this is a sea shanty that has gone a bit viral just now. It's actually for the 18th century. It's a New Zealand sea shanty. And anyone who worked for the Sydney-based whaling company, the Weller Brothers, were known as Wellerman. And the Wellerman in the song is a supply ship. So I'm going to give this a bash. Are you going to join in with some harmonies? Oh, go on. You're good, really good at doing bass lines.
Yeah, that kind of...
Words are here.
Yeah, I can't see it here. But anyway,
Oh, your mum's just said, call me Hot Lips. I'm presuming that's to me and nay to you, Anne. Well, maybe I hate to start calling your mum Hot Lips. Okay. Oh, excuse me. So this is the Weller Man. My version of it anyway. I'm not going to be doing it in black and white and thumping my knee. There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was a Belly-O-Tea. The winds blew up and their bow dipped down. Oh, blow, my bully boys, blow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpooned and fought her when she dived below. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not of greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. For 40 days or even more, the line went slack and tight once more. All boats were lost, there were only 4, but still that whale did go. Soon may the weatherman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. As far as the herd, the fight's still on. The line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The wellerman makes his regular call to encourage captain, crew and all. Soon may the weatherman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the weatherman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Apart from a major forgetful part in the middle. It was alright.
It was alright.
I love a sea shanty, do you can that?
Well, you've tried now then.
That's one of our, in the Kintra choir in Tarland, we set up Kintra, the local choir, a wee while ago, and unfortunately we've not been able to meet, but we love a sea shanty. We sing Lever Johnny Lever with the Kintra choir, so that might be a possible when we can all meet again. We'll maybe give it a blast of the Wellerman.
Yep. To be very trendy by that time. I thought might have gotten sick of it, but
Yeah, possibly.
right, I'm going to have a look at this because, right, if I find my book, because I'm going to read right at the back of the Captain Simon Fraser book for this. Right, been doing all these Captain Simon Fraser tunes, and I'm going to read this and see if you can tell me if you think this is the inspiration for. Because this is better kent as something completely different, but I thought this was an interesting story for the true origins of a very well-known song. So this is our tunes for the Highlands and Islands of Scotland, or as it says here, airs and melodies peculiar to the Highlands and Islands of Scotland by Captain Simon Fraser, chiefly acquired during the interesting period of 1715 to 1745 through the authentic source. There we go. So, I want to guess what this is. I'm going to read it out. Number 165 has pervaded most of the Highlands and Islands, but its origin seems to have been traced to Appin of Dull or Strathtae, where a girl of the name of Cameron was left in circumstances peculiarly distressing by her lover who went abroad. Her song describes most passionately her affections unalterably fixed upon him, and notwithstanding his dereliction of her in such circumstances, she observes that to retort or accuse is by no means the way to reclaim misconduct, but that she would continue to profess her love today as heretofore, that none might suppose her sentiments altered. Sentiments so liberal and amiable soon spread from hand to hand and found their way to her lover, when the youth, contrasting them with the sting of his own bosom, was so impressed with the insult offered to so much innate virtue that he soon felt all the force of returning affection heightened by esteem for the object of his early attachment, who could so nobly conduct herself, that he returned to marry her, and they lived in comfort for many years. And this is, did I say that was 165? If I can find it. A tune that translates for Gaelic as "My love today as heretofore."
Maroon and Jew, Mar and Jew.
You cannot. That's right.
I think that was close enough, Margaret. I'm sorry.
Well, I was convinced by it. So anyway, and that interesting story has given us one of Scotland's best known song melodies. You'll ken this almost within, well, I'll name that tune in 3 notes, I would say. Fond Kiss?
No, I was watching, obviously they couldn't do the mod this year, but there was like clips of previous years from the mod. It was on BBC Alba, and somebody sang that.
Yeah.
So
beautiful, but there you go. I mean, it wouldn't be. I mean, within the Gaelic-speaking world and folk that sing Gaelic songs, probably it's well kent. But I would probably say folk that are out with that community probably wouldn't ken the exact origins. Sure.
Fiona Forbes was the first in with the right answer, but she predicted text was our downfall. All fond kids.
All fond kids.
All fond kids.
Sounds like a nasty teacher.
So yeah, lots of folk loving that. So they're getting it right as well. So.
Good. Right, well, I'm going to do some of this as, there's not really much to say about this other than it's a cracking tune, but this is one of Captain Simon Fraser's own compositions. It's a tune that translates as "Round with a Health to Glorious Wellington," and Captain Simon Fraser was a captain in the local militia, and that was very much at the time when Napoleon was rampaging around Europe. It's maybe not how you should say it, but he came a cropper eventually. He got his comeuppance, but there was a genuine fear for a long time that the French would manage to land on mainland Britain, and so these militias were got up, and Captain Simon Fraser up in Inverness-shire, he was a captain in the local militia. It tended to happen in this period was if you had money, you'd be an officer. So if you had no money, you would be a private. But if you had a bit of cash and land, a member of the gentry, you were going to be one of the officers in the regiment, regardless of tactical ability. So there you go. So this was written the first anniversary of the Battle of Waterloo to commemorate that day. So anyway, it's not a tune you hear played very very often, but it's an interesting wee tune anyway. Different feel to it. That's almost feels touching the classical side.
Margaret Stewart sent me a very informative message about your tune for A Fond Kiss.
Oh, she did.
She said the melody comes from a song which was composed by a Tiree poet, John MacLean. The song is E Horos na Horo Eila, which she recorded in her first album. The song is composed as if by a woman. It's a beautiful praise song for the one she loves, using motifs such as praising his looks and his musicianship.
That's quite a different story for Captain Simon Fraser's.
It's maybe too different.
It's maybe that. Well, there you go. Anyway, they're both good stories, and Margaret's probably right. But I'm not going to argue with her anyway.
Harry Lash is saying that Wellington's brother was installed as king in the Netherlands.
Really?
That's what he said.
How did I not care that? That sounds like the sort of thing I should have heard about.
And Fiona Forbes is saying, do you know that the regiment that starred in the Battle of Waterloo was the Royal Scots Greys, now the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, and that's the lads that are testing for COVID and vaccinating folk.
Is it? Good. Well, they've been a very worthy sort for a very long time. The Scots Greys, that's one of the most famous paintings to come out the Battle of Waterloo. You've got the lads on the grey chargers coming towards you, howling like fury, and it's called Scotland Forever, one of my favourite paintings.
Bruno from Dijon says, I don't know Waterloo because I'm French. Okay.
That's just tough. We've got we're not holding any grudges. I hope you're the...
So, hello to Ian and Norma Russell, who noticed they were watching. In the box, what's in the box? Gordon Calder thinks socks. I'm not sure whether he thinks it's a pair of socks or a cat socks. Katinka Baxton thinks perfume. Neil Mitchell thinks an Iona chess piece. Roger Court thinks scrimshaw, and Nicola Mitchell thinks Iona marble. Mm-hmm. And for the beer, Sandy Thompson thinks Merlin's pale ale.
Okay, right. The answer's proven elusive this time, but I will say it's near a chucky or a pebble for Iona. I've actually got a green piece of Iona marble. It's only found at one place in the world, just down at the bottom. Actually, the communion table in Crathay Kirk is made out of it. It's a beautiful green colour, but when I was at Port McCurra, I found a pebble about that size, and I think it was my thing for what's in the box at some point last year. Yeah, I have done that. That is in my pocket all the time, actually. When I change my trousers, I take it out and put it in into the clean pair. But yeah, it's on my person at all times, just because I just like the idea of it anyway. So there you go. Right, I'm going to play one set to finish, and it's a slow air, a spay and a reel. Again, half of the Captain Simon Fraser's Nocky collection, as it's better kent. It's certainly easier to say. And first thing is a slow air card. My heart is broken since thy departure. What it translates for Gaelic is that. It's followed by the Chisholm, and there's a couple of possibilities to the origin. The chief of the Chisholm clan could be one, but Simon Fraser felt it might even be directed to the subject of one of the other tunes. Was a young man that was killed at the Battle of Culloden, and his wife composed a beautiful air for him, so it might be that. And then the last thing is called Kinrara, and Kinrara House. It's very near the River Spey, and it was built by the Duchess of Gordon in 1804 as a place for hospitality, a party house. Really, it's a beautiful house. It's still there, and this was to commemorate for a great place it used to be before she'd passed away. Okay. ladies and gentlemen, Shona Donaldson.
Do you want me to just do one?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm
Because we're
positive.
kind of...
Shona,
Okay.
we can run as long as we like.
Well, that's
folk
true.
Folk can leave whenever they
You
feel
can
like it.
leave when you feel like it. You can't do that in a proper concert, can you? Well, you could, but Abdi turn in and look at you when you walk to.
It's TV, you can't really do that.
Yeah. Hello to Athol Bowman, who is watching. Got one more guest for the box. Frank Ribbons thinks it's a stub of Paul's New Year's cigar in the box. Nah. There you go. So, I mentioned a song about Sna earlier. This is another one that mentions Sna. It's kind of local, I suppose. It's just up the D a wee bit, past Brimar. And I'm sure it's off a Sna the day there. In fact, I ken it's shut, Glenshee. So I've sung it before, but I thought I would do Bonnie Glenshee. Day a sea on bonny high hills, a covered out with snow. They parted monies a true love, and they'll soon part us to all. Bask, bask, bonny lassie, aye, and come awa wi me, and I'll tak ye tegel and Isla near bonny Glenshee. They see on bonny shepherds as they walk along, with their polities o'er their shoulders and their sheep grazing on. Bask, bask, bonny lassie, aye, and come awa wi me, and I'll tak ye tegel and Isla near bonny Glenshee. They see on bonny soldiers as they march along, with their muskets o'er their shoulders and their broadswords hanging down. Bask, bask, bonny lassie, aye, and come awa wi me, and I'll tak ye tegel and Isla near bonny Glenshee. They see on bonny high hills, a covered out with snow. They parted monies a true love, and they'll soon part us to all. Bask, bask, bonny lassie, aye, and come awa wi me, and I'll tak ye tegel and Isla near bonny Glenshee. Ken I've sung it before, but a good song's need the water being sung twice. Okay?
Yep.
Right, are you going to wheech maroon?
Yep. While you're getting set up, I will just say there's a few notifications here.
Okay. Right.
And then I'll just turn it. While she gets herself settled down, Jane D. Roberts has just made it in.
Hello,
She's watching
Jane.
from Philadelphia. Fiona Forbes, she thinks it might be a seed tatty in the box. It's a bit rattly for a tatty, right enough. Tommy Webster think it could be a tool for bleeding the radiator. Harry Lash, he wrote a fair bit about, it's Napoleon's brother
right, sorry.
was king, no Wellington, I thought.
I was thinking that, but...
Napoleon was, he'd somebody who was king of Naples, and a brother in Spain was a king. And
it was just because you said Wellington in it, and then he said his brother, so...
Alright, so Andrew Brandy, he thinks it's a front door key. And without further ado, I'm going to swing you around, folks. How's that?
No, not quite. You're going to have to go back a wee bit. Cause,
it's alright.
Yeah.
Deal with that.
Yeah, that's probably about... That's okay there. Sorry, and this way a wee bit. No, the actual light. Not the actual phone. Don't muck about. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, you can probably see it. I hadn't adjusted my TV. This song, there was quite a few to choose. If you are new to Live from the Lounge, what I usually do with my last song on a Friday night is pick something that's to do with what's been happening this week, or maybe somebody famous's birthday, or a death day, or whatnot. It was yesterday, it was National Homemade Soup Day, but the only song that I could think of to do with soup was one that was sung in the Howland Shed in Huntly. Where I go and mint, oh, tomato soup and lint, oh, na 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 na, ooh, na 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 na. Yeah, so I couldn't think of any soup songs. And also it was, is it Mike Batt, Paul?
Yep.
He was born this week, and of course he wrote
Remember you're a womble.
Remember you're a womble. Remember what a womble you are. Now I love a womble song as much as the next person, but when I saw this song I thought I can't go by this. So actually it's quite unusual. This is the first time that I've come across this in 47 weeks, and it's a birthday and a death day, just one day apart of the same person. So this person was born on the 5th of February, today, on the 5th of February in 1935 in Glasgow, and he died on the 4th of February 1982, actually when he was waiting for a ferry in Zeebrugge coming back to Britain, and he was 46. He died of a heart attack. His band was voted the 5th greatest Scottish band of all time. He didn't really have a massive following in America, apart from Cleveland for some reason. Cleveland had this massive, big fan following of him, and he got to the band got to number 7 in 1975 with a cover of a Tom Jones song, which I'm going to sing now. And of course, it is Alex Harvey, or the sensational Alex Harvey Band, and I'm sure you'll like in which song he got to. Got to number 7 in 1975. If you've never heard his version of it, go and Google it after you're finished here. It is of course Delilah. So this is for Uncle Tommy and my mum and dad, because yeah, we've had a few karaoke nights with us getting belted. So Paul's having a starring role for this the night and a. So this is for Alex Harvey, who was born today in 1935. Sensational Alex Harvey Band. Give this a bash. I saw the light on the night that I passed by her window. I saw the flickering shadows of love on the blind. She was my woman. As she deceived me, I watched and I went out of my mind. My Delilah. Why, Delilah? I could see that girl was no good for me, but I was lost like a slave that no man could free. At break of day when that man drove away, I was waiting. I crossed the street to her house and I opened the door. She stood there laughing. Forgive me, Delilah, I just couldn't take any more. Felt you as a belter of a song. Yeah, Alex Harvey is definitely, his version is definitely better than Tom Jones.
If it's a guy, is it Clem? He dresses up with like mime makeup, plays a guitar.
I don't know.
I forget his full name, but it's quite, it's very theatrical. Anyway, there you go.
Oh man. Margaret said that your ha 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 was quite scary. It was quite sinister, wasn't it? You really went for it.
Well, I'm gonna go for it, like.
No, you really went for it though.
That's my theatrical side going. It's like, should be tying off wifey's up on train tracks or something.
Twiddling
my moustache.
Oh, that's funny.
We've actually, there's one or two birthdays this week.
Oh, there is actually.
Margaret Smith.
Margaret Smith.
She's 91. Margaret played piano for me for years. She was the pianist with the Barclays Strathspey Reel. Husband Bill was the secretary. Jane is the current conductor. She was a leader of the juniors when I started with the Strathspey Reel, and so the family's had a big influence. But it's Margaret's 91st birthday.
And also, it's our niece Rianne. Her birthday is the same day as Margaret's, and she was 17. Beep beep, watch out on the roads, Rianne. And also, you might know, I don't know if they're watching tonight, but Danielle and Ben Lumsden, who quite often look in there in Australia, their wee Rory is 3 today. So we've got Margaret, Rianne and Rory, if we'd like to sing happy birthday to them.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday Margaret, Rianne and Rory, happy birthday to you. I hope you all had a really good day.
Right.
You're
Beer.
going to do the beer. I don't know if
first.
there was any guesses while I was singing.
There was, well, I hadn't seen because I was doing my theatrical laughter and I couldn't possibly do two things at once.
No.
So I hadn't seen if it's been coming in the last 5 minutes.
Oh, sorry, Elaine Garling says her mum is 103 tomorrow. Happy birthday to Elaine's mum.
Well, she's getting her very own happy
I'm sorry
birthday.
we don't know your... and Fiona Forbes' grandson Callum's 16 today.
Well,
Happy birthday.
we'll do it again. Happy birthday.
To Callum and Elaine's mum. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Callum and Elaine's mum. Happy birthday to you. Gosh, we've got loads of birthdays this week.
February's a good month.
Amazing. Yeah, sorry,
Right.
on you go. Beer.
The beer of the week is Holyrood Pale Ale. As in the tune, nae the Parliament. It's nothing to do with that. It's just Holyrood Pale Ale.
Not Holyrood.
Holyrood. It is Holyrood.
It's Holyrood.
But if nobody says Holyrood, surely, don't they?
I can.
Holyrood.
Holyrood.
It's the
Yes,
Holyrood. It contained a bit of the true cross that Jesus was crucified on. It disappeared. The English nicked it one of the times we were up.
It's quite a nice bottle though.
It's just,
I'm not
just
sure
a
if
fact.
this is.
Yeah, it's a giant of
It's a
some sort.
giant.
Well, anyway, it's by Stewart Brewing. I've had one of their beers up
Is it nice?
before. It's fine. I had a boring yet, to be honest. To be quite honest.
So for Gaelic Say a Phrase Day, we learnt J Hounds of Oxa. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? J Hounds of Oxa. I'm going to keep
It
that in.
doesn't quite fit as well as.
Nobody got this right.
Oh, I'm going the wrong road. It's
Give
one
me
of
that
these
yellow.
things.
Do you want me to have you?
No, it's alright. I'll just.
You might hate to go in a wee bit
I
closer.
probably will. You must have seen them. I watched Mad Max 2 this week, late at night,
I didn't.
on my own, which I do enjoy. It's a bit of my teenage years, but one of these features in it. That's it. There you
I
go.
don't know if you can hear it. For release.
Bit of Beethoven. I'm not even sure if that thing is card.
Is it near just like a...
It's like a music. It's like
Weeble.
whatever you call it.
That's fine.
Should have done my research beforehand. But anyway, that fits in the box. Shona thought we might have used this before, but I don't think we
I don't
did.
think we have actually.
I don't think we did.
I think we spoke about it.
Anyway, A musical box, we'll call it.
It is.
It's like the gubbins out the inside, the guts are in it, musical box. There you go. So, there we go.
That's us.
Number 47 done.
Ken, we're so
Dusted.
close to a year.
48 next week. We're horsing towards a year of this.
That's mental.
But the numbers are dropping. I think we're past the second flare-up's worst patch. That said, I mean, crikey.
Fuck it.
It's near 1,000 folk a day still are dying out in the UK, so it's no good. So, look after yourself, follow the rules, wash your hands, wear a mask, bide at home, then I go out unless you have to
Well,
go and walk, but then I go to places for folk hang out in large numbers.
They should put you in a telly, Paul, honestly. Then I go out.
Yeah, I'll put my sinister laughing voice and flag folk into just diff your tilt.
If you have enjoyed a night and you fancy putting something in the tip box, it would be appreciated. It's www.paypal.me/Paul Anderson Shona Dawn.
Okay, so I might do a workshop on Wednesday. I was thinking I might, but we'll see. It depends if I can be bothered. But we'll see. But I'm thinking I probably will next Wednesday night.
Well, we're back to
7 o'clock.
homeschooling, home learning. Sorry, we're back to home learning at the moment as well. So I was just thinking that our two might make in for a sna day or something there, because now the teachers are all set up for sending stuff home. They're now probably going to hear a day after sna.
You can, by the time they get geared up for taking a day's work, it's probably too late. So
I never got a day off for snow really, because I bed in the town and my dad was a teacher, so we got hauled to the school forever.
I pretty much got in it at least once every year, because we're bray, the Altoon bray, for mum and dad are, as we speak, between there and here. The bray itself, it catches the wind coming from the north, and it used to fill to the top of the posts. It was as bad you had to if you were to take a Land Rover or a tractor up the road, you would be better going through the parks. That used to happen on a regular basis.
You get to school in a tractor?
I did once. It shows for the priorities were. I was off school, but my dad took me down in the tractor for my fiddle lesson, and then I went back in the tractor and up the road. I'm not sure what the rest of the teachers thought about that, but anyway, at least I'm still playing it. So let's.
What are we finishing with?
Strathspey Reel,
yep.
Bella Drumhouse, and the Highlandman Kissed His Mother.
Once and twice, or twice and twice? Or?
Twice and twice.
Twice and twice. Okay.
Right. Right, folks. Take care. We're saying bide at home, but you haven't really got much option this weekend because the roads are not convenient for travel. Yeah. So especially if you bide up in the northeast here. So take care, and we'll see you next week. Cheerio.
See you later.